November 2nd, 1944. The sky over Germany is already alive with sound. Far above the clouds, the deep mechanical thunder of thousands of engines rolls across the horizon as US B-17 flying fortresses advance in massive formation. They stretch from one end of the sky to the other, an airborne city moving with cold precision toward its target. Below them, on the frozen concrete of Brandeis Airfield, Lieutenant Günther Andreas pushes his aircraft forward, the small rocket fighter beneath him trembling with barely restrained violence. The machine is the Me-163 Komet, the fastest aircraft ever built, a weapon that burns its own fuel in minutes and gives its pilot only one chance to get it right. Andreas slams the throttle forward and the aircraft surges down the runway. He eases back on the stick, then pulls hard. The Komet tears free of the ground and climbs like nothing else in the sky. G-forces crush Andreas into his seat as the airspeed needle rockets past 400 miles an hour. The Earth vanishes beneath him. Clouds rush past in seconds. 15 other Komets rise alongside him, clawing upward almost vertically, defending the fuel plants below. This is the largest Komet mission ever flown. The climb ends as violently as it began. Blue sky, blinding sunlight. Andreas throttles back to idle, saving what little fuel remains, and levels out. And then he sees them. A line of aircraft, so long it seems endless. 2,000 Allied planes filling the sky ahead of him. 900 bombers, 1,100 escorts, all flying straight and steady toward their target. For a moment, Andreas forgets to breathe. Then the Komets scatter. He links up with his friend, Oberfeldwebel Jakob Bolenrath. They know exactly what comes next. The Komet was never meant to turn or dogfight. It was built to dive, strike, and disappear. Andreas glances at Bolenrath, a silent understanding passing between them. This flight might be their last. Bolenrath peels away first. Andreas follows, shoving the throttle forward and rolling into a steep dive. The bombers grow in his gun sight at an impossible speed. The difference in velocity makes it feel like the massive formation is frozen in place. Andreas has only seconds. He fires. Twin 30mm cannons erupt, shaking the aircraft as shells tear into the wing of a B-17. Before the gunners can react, Andreas slices beneath the formation and escapes their fire. He's damaged the bomber, but it isn't enough. Above him, bomb bay doors open. Payloads fall. The fuel plant below disappears in fire and smoke. The bombers turn for home, wounded aircraft trailing behind. Perfect targets. Andreas still has fuel. He turns back. He slips under the formation again, engine idling. The massive bombers looming overhead like moving buildings. Then he commits. He slams the throttle forward and the rocket ignites with brutal force, hurling him towards 600 miles an hour. He pulls up sharply, attacking from below, the most dangerous angle of all. But he's seen. The ball turret swings. Andreas fires again. One cannon jams instantly. He keeps going. The remaining gun hammers the bomber's belly as .50 caliber rounds rip past his canopy. Tracers flash inches away. Then everything changes. A bullet punches through the canopy. Shrapnel tears across Andreas's face. The round smashes through the armor plate behind him and slams into the fuel tank. The Komet carries fuels that ignite on contact, fuels that melt flesh and turn cockpits into firestorms. Andreas knows his aircraft could explode at any second. He dives away from the formation and escapes in moments. But safety is an illusion now. He unbuckles, reaches for the canopy, and pulls. It doesn't move. Unseen, Captain Fred Glover of the 336th Squadron has been watching from his P-51 Mustang. He sees the Komet's contrail and turns to intercept. The Mustang slides in behind Andreas, just as the German pilot spots it. 6.50 caliber machine guns open fire. Andreas dives and shoves the throttle forward. Nothing happens. The tank is dry. The Mustang turns back. Andreas fights the canopy again, still stuck. The P-51 charges straight at him. Glover fires. Panels rip away. Bullets puncture the fuel tanks, and flames bloom across the underside of the Komet. Andreas rolls inverted and dives, fire licking beneath him as rounds tear upward through the fuselage. The Mustang stays with him, relentless, ripping the fragile rocket ship apart. Andreas pushes the dive deeper, betting everything on gravity. The Komet has no engine now, but its airframe is built for speed. Glover knows time is running out and gives it everything he has. Then, suddenly, more comets burst from the clouds. Glover breaks off, unwilling to be caught among them. Andreas is alive, but his aircraft is burning from the inside. The flames die down as rushing air forces its way through the fire. Andreas levels out. For a moment, there is hope. Then the fire reignites, fiercer than before. The rocket fuels burn together, impossible to extinguish. He has seconds left. Elsewhere in the sky, Bolenrath makes another attack run, his shells ripping across the top of a B-17. As he pulls away to conserve fuel, a Mustang waits. Captain Louis Norley throttles up. Bolenrath doesn't see him until tracers streak past his canopy. He dives. Norley follows. The Mustang clings to his tail, guns blazing. Bolenrath turns hard, bleeding speed, trying to force an overshoot. Norley anticipates the move and fires. Bullets slam into the Comet's rear fuselage. Cracks echo through the cockpit. The Mustang flashes past. Bolenrath's chance. He slams the throttle forward. Instead of thrust, the engine explodes, critically damaged. The Mustang turns back. Norley fires again. Rounds tear through the Komet from tail to cockpit. Flames erupt as the aircraft tumbles out of control. Bolenrath never escapes. Back in his own burning aircraft, Andreas forces the nose up, bleeding off speed. The canopy shifts. He realizes what's been holding it shut. The wing. He pulls harder, slower now. The canopy swings open. Andreas throws himself clear of the aircraft just as the fire surges again. His parachute snaps open above him. As he drifts downward, Andreas looks below. He sees the remains of Bolenrath's Komet streaking toward the ground in flames. No parachute follows it. Lieutenant Günther Andreas survives the war. Captain Fred Glover survives. Captain Louis Norley survives. Bolenrath does not. The Komet, the fastest aircraft of its time, could not stop the bombers. Sometimes speed is not enough, and sometimes survival comes down to seconds, luck, and a canopy that finally opens.